Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host, Eric Smith, and today we're doing something different because what I'm going to be talking about is a book that they don't want you to read. I have to be very careful here. I don't want this video to be taken down. I don't want it to disappear. I want you to know about this book. Uh, what I'm talking about is Millionaires' Day by Kit Power, and this is from French Press Publishing. There's their logo. Hope I'm not getting them in trouble. So I'm going to read the back cover copy here because I don't know how else to say what needs to be said before I get to talking about this. On Sunday, 22nd December 2019, everyone in the United Kingdom woke up with £1 million in cash under their beds. The miracle, or catastrophe, was never adequately explained. In the aftermath of the coronavirus pandemic, the event was largely forgotten or treated as an urban legend. Until now. In this explosive volume, beloved historian Kit Power finally blows the lid off that surreal, impossible morning, focusing on a few residents of Milton Keynes, a uniquely diverse city northwest of London. Power lays bare the wonder of waking up to a found fortune through the eyes of a neglected child, the madness and panic of an unprepared public from the perspective of an overworked police officer, the graphic terror inflicted by a band of reprobate gangsters for whom too much is never enough, the strangeness of it all through the outlook of man's best friend. Note, for legal purposes, this book is marketed as fiction, but no one who lived through it could deny the profound impact of Millionaires' Day. Now, there are some brave voices who have talked about this. If you go to Happy Goat Horror, and I'll have links in the description below, but on Happy Goat Horror, if they haven't been taken down yet, there are some testimonials from people who remember what happened on that day. And there's Stephen Kozanowski of French Press has talked about how hard it was to get this book published because of the powers that be. I'll have if I can find that. I don't know if that's in his, like, if he has a blog or it's his Substack, whatever. I'll try to find a link for that as well, where he talks about everything he had to go through to finally bring this story to the public. And now I'm bringing it to you, and hopefully this video won't disappear, and hopefully I won't disappear. But so I've read the back cover copy. You have an idea of what this is about. Now, as a book, for the too long didn't watch folks, I give this 5 out of 5. This is an amazing, impactful story. I absolutely loved it. Now, I wasn't aware of Millionaires' Day until I started seeing these testimonials being shared on the Happy Goat Horror website. And just for full transparency, this book was smuggled out of the United Kingdom to me by Kaylee Dobbs of Happy Goat Horror. She's an assistant to Stephen Kozanowski for French Press Publishing, French Press Books. Never sure exactly which one of those it is, or if it's just French Press. But either way, French Press Publishing. So Kaylee Dobbs basically smuggled this book out to me. She packaged it up in a tabletop game box of a box that was bigger than this, and packed some dice and some things so it would kind of rattle around, threw some old playing cards in there, but shipped it to me as a board game that she was sending to me something they have over there in Wales, in the UK, that she thought would be kind of cool for, an American to have across the pond. But she was smuggling this to me. I really hope I'm not getting her into trouble for this. Um, Again, the powers that be don't go after her when they hear that she was able to slip this out to me, uh, out to the wider world. So, uh, so reading this, it's we're following a number of different characters over the course of less than 24 hours. And right off the bat, very first thing, we've got, I believe his name is Henry, is the unhoused man, and him waking up, finding this case full of £1 million. And then we're introduced to the other characters that we're going to follow. And eventually we're introduced, a little later, we're introduced to some of the other people. I keep saying characters, but they're people. And Kit Powers, how much credit can we give him? These are incredibly realistic characters, but they're actually real people. So, do we give him credit for making real people seem like real people? If we were to look at it as a work of fiction, I would be stunned by his ability to create such real characters that we care about. But knowing they're real people, who's to say? The events move along very quickly, and we're thrown around between these people and what they're doing. And we have the unhoused man who is simply terrified to have this money that he doesn't know where it came from. We have this young girl who doesn't have the best home life and is hoping that she can use this money to make her life better. And then we have the gang, basically, the reprobate gangsters in I don't remember what they call them off the top of my head. The housing towers, maybe. I forgot to mention there's a glossary in the front of, it says super English to regular English. So it's basically UK slang translated into, for us Americans. So bent means crooked or corrupt. Boot of a car, the trunk. Carriageway, multi-lane highway. So things like that. I don't remember if they have the term, whatever they talk about for the towers. I know that there's a term for it. I just can't think of it. If you've seen Attack the Block, though, you know what I'm talking about. And so there's this group of gangsters, essentially. And I really, really like those characters, those people. Well, no, looking at them as characters, I like them. I like the way they're written because it's enjoyable to write or to read about interesting bad guys. As real people, I don't like them. One or two that are part of this gang that don't necessarily want to be part of this gang. I mean, it's that sort of, they're caught in the life. So there are people to root for, even amongst these bad people. And then paths are going to cross. Things are going to happen. Again, if this were fiction, I would ask why Kit Power hates me for making me feel things and kicking me in the teeth with things that happen. But it's not fiction. I mean, it's marketed as fiction, but it's not fiction. So I can't blame Kit Power for what happened. But absolutely an amazing book, an important book. The truth has to get out there. But Millionaires Day by Kit Power, 5 out of 5. The only other Kit Power that I've read is an actual nonfiction book, not one that's marketed as fiction, but he has 2 volumes of My Life in Horror, which I believe is all his essays and things from Ginger Nuts of Horror. I've read the first volume of that. I enjoyed that. Um, this is the first fiction of his that I have read. I definitely want to read more of his stuff, whether or not I want to read the volume 2 of My Life in Horror, and then he just has tons of other novellas and stuff that I want to read. Kaylee Dobbs says his short stories are just absolutely fantastic. So eventually, once I start working again and can start rebuilding things, Kit Power is at the top of the list for picking up his books. And so please, please read this, pick it up, read it, get the word out. Don't let whoever it is, the government, the New World Order, don't let them suppress what happened on Millionaires Day. And hopefully this video will stay up and people will get the word. Millionaires Day, Kit Power, 5 out of 5 stars. So, recommendations. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to recommend anything, and I don't really have any questions, except maybe do you remember? Does anybody out there remember Millionaires Day? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. I will have links to Happy Goat Horror, so you can see some of the testimonials. I will have, if I can, I will link to the thing that Stephen Kozanowski did, talking about the trials and tribulations of finally getting this book out to the public. And then I will also have links, if you care to follow me on other social media, I will have links to my Instagram and Bluesky. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. And that's all I have for this time. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I've been Eric Smith. Fight the power. And until next time, read more books.